Just last Monday, the incumbent governor of Anambra State, Dr. Charles Soludo, aka Solution, aka Mr. Solution. And so the man waka reach Onitsha main market. So when he got to Onitsha main market, he discovered the place looked deserted. You understand? Market no open. People were not in the market. Maybe one or two shops open, but the rest of them were closed. No business activities. And he was like, what is going on here? Probably some of his aides must have told him that it's Monday lockdown, that people normally observe Monday lockdown in the state. And he was like, wow, this cannot happen under my watch. So he locked the market for 1 week, put the market under compulsory lockdown for 1 week. He said the market will not open again since they don't want to trade, that the market will not open again until next Monday. You understand? So people now took to the street to protest that order. You understand? So during their protest, you understand, he must have heard the protest, noticed what is going on, seen one or two, but he is insisting on his order. In fact, he said the market will not open until that Monday, and if by Monday they fail to comply, that is open their shops by Monday, that he will likely extend that lockdown till further notice or till another Monday, until they agree to do business on Monday. That as far as his state is concerned, that business must be done on Monday. And people are protesting, are like, are you going to force us, you understand, do business on Monday? Or are you going to tell us when to open our shops and when not to open? After all, the shops are our own, the goods are our own, the rent we pay by ourselves, we open and do business the day we like. You understand? I decide whether to sell on Monday, I decide whether to sell on Tuesday, I decide whether not to sell on Friday. After all, it is their business, it is their way of life, it is their earning, it is their rent, it is their goods, it is their capital. That is what the people who are protesting are saying. You understand? I think a police officer also weighed into this matter. The police officer said that you cannot force people to open and do business. You cannot force people to sell when they don't want to sell. You cannot force an individual to open their shop when they chose not to open. It is their right to decide when to open their shop and do business and when not to open. As a businessman, you can decide to sell Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and skip Thursday, and do Friday, and do Saturday, and not do Sunday, or do Thursday, do Monday, and not do Wednesday. It is your choice. It is your right to decide which day to do business. This is not about Nigeria. This is not about anybody. It is an individual's right to decide when to open their shop or not. After all, it is their capital, it is their rent, it is their facility. You understand? So, but the governor decided to see it another way. In his own wisdom and opinion, he thinks that people must open and do businesses every day, especially on Monday, irrespective of what they are saying. And he's saying that if by Monday they refuse to open, he will extend it to another 1 week. And if they continue to refuse to open, that he is likely to revoke on the market and build a school there. You understand? Okay. This brings me to my own opinion. My own opinion on the matter is this. As a citizen of Nigeria who is doing business, for civil servants, I think this is different. For a civil servant, government can decide when or not you can come to work. But as a businessman, I think a businessman who pays the rent for his shop, pays the rent for his house, pays taxes, you understand, buys goods, he owns his capital, probably also owns and pays for or maintains, you understand, his credit facility if there is any, pays his debts when due. I think that businessman reserves the right, you understand, to decide when to open shop and when to do business, when to come to shop, whether by 8 or by 9 or by 11. Nobody has the right to tell you when to do that. You can decide not to open Monday, you can decide not to open Tuesday, you can decide to do Monday and leave Tuesday, and leave Wednesday and do Friday and do Saturday. You can even decide to skip Tuesday, do Monday, do Wednesday, do Friday, do Saturday. Sometimes even do Sunday if you choose. It is your money, it is your business, it is your goods, it is your capital. The only thing government needs to do is provide enabling environment for people to do business, provide security, provide access road, provide electricity, provide enabling environment that to help people do their business well, and provide things that to, give people the morale to go about their normal businesses without fear of molestation or disturbance. I think this is the duty of government, and is what government should be more concerned about, and not the day you decide to open your shop or not.